showing of the defense. We've got a match in the group stage of Group D between Infused Esports and MiTH.Trust. We are well underway. The picks, the bans have already been done. I am GoDz from GoDz bringing you tonight's coverage as Toby has taken a holiday. And luckily for you guys, we've gotten a fellow Aussie to substitute in. Of course, I am no Toby, but I'll do my best to cover this game. And we're going to have Team Infused on the Radiant team. On the Dire team, we've got MiTH.Trust from Thailand, the Thai powerhouse. Infused, who are currently at boot camp. All 5 of them are on LAN, which actually just caused some problems as they all disconnected for the first time from their LAN. And on the Dire team, MiTH.Trust, the probably most known team from Thailand and one of the best, strongest teams in Southeast Asia, recently coming second place at the Malaysia Dota 2 Invitational. Going to be seeing what they can do up against this strong Swedish side of Infused. Looking at the heroes, the lanes, what is going on the Radiant team. We've got Rishon playing that Sanking. It looks to be soloing that top lane. Going up to the mid lane, we have Wagamama playing that Windrunner. Actually, no, Wagamama looks to be playing by the support role based by these Observer wards, so it might not be a solo mid Windrunner. And Donnie playing the Shadow Shaman has actually bought that chicken. So who is playing support? Who is doing what? Yet to be seen. We've got Sentry wards on the Venomancer. So they've got Sentry wards, Observer wards, and Chicken. I think we are going to be seeing that Windrunner soloing mid lane, but he just bought those Observer wards maybe. Or actually possibly the Shadow Shaman soloing mid lane. So it looks like Donnie's going to be soloing the mid lane, possibly a dual lane with this Shadow Shaman and Windrunner. Some unconventional laning coming up from Infused. Bottom lane, we've got Fishbone playing the Venomancer, definitely going to be playing sort of support role, and Mini playing the Pudge, going to be at that bottom lane. On the MiTH.Trust side, what have we got? We've got FFFFFFY playing the Crystal Main, has some early Observer wards, Sentry wards, puts an Observer ward in the lane. Going to be using those Sentry wards to prevent the Sanking from sitting in Sandstorm to stay near the farm. We've got Lakells, the main carry player for MiTH.Trust, playing the Alchemist, going for that level 1 stun. And we've got TNK, the Enigma, going to be jungling this top lane. Mid lane for MiTH.Trust, we've got IIX, a player I've not heard of. Maybe he's using a different name, or maybe it is just IIX. A new player on the team. He's playing that Pugna up against a dual lane of Shadow Shaman and Windrunner. A very interesting dual lane. I'm surprised they're not playing more aggressive. I think we're definitely going to see them try and play very aggressive 2-on-1 situation. One hero can just focus on harassing down the Pugna, and meanwhile bottom lane, Veno and Pudge get first blood on the Broodmother. I hadn't even finished going over the MiTH.Trust lineup, and guys, there you go. The MiTH.Trust Broodmother goes down. Broodmother is being played by L3NU, and in typical Toby 1 Kenobi fashion, I have missed first blood, so apparently I am just another Toby 1 Kenobi. Can't catch first blood to save my life. And mid lane, we've got some more harass coming out from Wagamama as well as Donnie. They're going to be doing their best to keep this Pugna down, but so far, Pugna doing alright. He hasn't actually been harassed all that much and should be able to farm alright. Top lane Sanking is not being pressured too much. Crystal Maiden focusing on some pulling, has stacked this once. Is going to be denying SK a lot of farm by doing this double stack, as a lot of these Dire creeps will go down to the neutral creeps. We're going to see this Centaur Khan, as well as these Mud Golems doing a lot of damage, and a couple of these Dire creeps going down, forcing this wave to push in, but in the end, Sanking is going to get denied a lot of XP. And Crystal Maiden actually can get a bit of farm here at this on these ranged creeps. So Crystal Maiden going to get that early crow, I imagine, as Crystal Maiden. We did get those Obs wards as well as Sentry wards. Enigma, meanwhile, is jungling away. It's going to be going for that fast Soul Ring, probably. Towards the top river, we've got Shadow Shaman picking up a Haste Rune. I've got a dodgy mouse, guys, so for those of you seeing this lag, it's because of my mouse. And there's the Shackle Windrunner on the Windrunner. They're going to do some serious harass on this Pugna. Shackle shot not going to hit, and Pugna should be okay here. No, maybe not. A couple more hits, and Shadow Shaman picks up the kill with the Haste Rune. A big kill there as Pugna goes down. Second kill going in Infused's favor, and they are off to a fantastic start here in this defense group stage match, as MiTH.Trust now have some answers to find, which I believe they're going to be looking to find in Lakells' Alchemist, which should be looking to free farm away at top lane, try to get up that Radiance as fast as possible. Maybe not even going to go for that Vanguard. Up against this solo Sand King, I mean, obviously he's not going to be pressured much, so might not need a Vanguard. It's whether or not mid-game he wants a Vanguard. If the Windrunner, the Pugna, come to gank his lane, he may need that Vanguard. Especially the Pudge comes to gank as well. Pudge can throw out a lot of DPS as soon as he hits level 7. Bottom lane, Sentry Wards from the Venomancer are going to make this Broodmother in so much danger. Brood's going to have to be playing so safe. Can use those Spiderlings to help block hooks, actually. So Spiderlings are very useful up against the Pudge because you can just keep them next to the hero, and if you've got Spiderlings next to you, Pudge is going to find it very hard to find a hook shot on you, but it does take some pretty high tier micro, which not all players can do. Meanwhile, top lane, whoa, there's my mouse glitch. CM and Alchemist pick up a kill on the Sand King, using those Sentry Wards from Crystal Maiden, forcing the Sand King back, and they are going to, well, Sentry Ward way in the jungle, sorry, way in the trees there. CM Alchemist pick up a kill, and finally a kill going in MiTH.Trust's favor, and we are going to see a CM Alchemist. Probably Alchemist is just not going to want to go roaming or anything. Alchemist is going to be focusing on that farm, seeing at top lane, and one of the observers actually desing from the game, reconnecting. But Alchemist is just going to be focusing solely on farming, not going to be roaming. Despite having level 2 stun, he's not going to be focusing much on leaving his lane. Has level 1 of Goblin's Greed to get that little bit of extra gold for every last hit, and you'll see that, yep, +2 gold for that last hit. He'll get +4 for the next one, and that will add up over time, and we'll get him that Relic and Radiance just that much faster, and hopefully trying to out-carry this Radiant team who don't really have a hard carry. They're going to be focusing more on pushing. They've got the Serpent Wards, they've got the Plague Wards coming out from Shadow Shaman as well as Venomancer, and that's going to be how they try to win this game, by pushing, getting a gold advantage, getting a level advantage, and using that to sort of overwhelm the MiTH.Trust side. Windrunner with an early bottle goes for an Illusion Rune, is going to be looking for a gank on this mid lane. Pugna does not suspect this by the looks of it. This Observer Wood is not his, and Pugna, we'll see these illusions and we'll back right off as Windrunner comes running in, and it looks like Windrunner and Shadow Shaman may look to just push down this tower. They don't have those Serpent Wards yet. Shadow Shaman only level 4, but they just want to do as much sort of harass as possible. Power Shot goes in, actually hits the Pugna. That wasn't going to do a whole lot, that Power Shot, except it did do some nice harass because it did find the Pugna, and the Illusion Rune is going to do some damage as Pugna takes out the Illusion Rune, and this tier 1 tower at mid taking a fair bit of harass, forcing Pugna to use that blast to hold it up. Bottom lane, meanwhile, Venomancer has bought some more Sentry Wards. That's going to make Brood have to play even safer. Brood going to be getting that Soul Ring up now, as Brood does have enough gold, and that's going to allow him to spam those Spiderlings as much as he likes, essentially. Use them either to harass, or to get more little Spiderlings, and use those Spiderlings to harass. Top lane, CM Alchemist being very aggressive, forcing the Sand King to play so safe. Sand King only with 400 gold, only level 4, is not off to the best start here. And meanwhile, mid lane, Shadow Shaman, Windrunner pick up another kill on this Pugna. They've died past again. Top lane, Alchemist playing so far aggressive, and the MiTH.Trust team playing aggressive at top lane, but meanwhile Infused playing so aggressive at mid, picking up a second kill on this Pugna. Pugna in a world of trouble, a world of pain at mid lane. And top lane, Sand King has hit, oh no, sorry, he's only level 5, and we are going to see Alchemist pop the ultimate, give him some HP and mana regen, trade hits here, but Windrunner's coming in. Oh, Sand King misses the stun. MiTH.Trust Enigma is there, the double stun, the Black Hole. How is Enigma already level 6? They're going to get a kill on the Sand King. The Shackle Shot comes too late, and the Black Hole picks up 1 kill, and they are going to back off there. I can't believe that Enigma is already level 6. That is some very quick leveling from the Enigma in that jungle, and hits level 6 pretty much at the same time as the carry Alchemist hits level 6. And finding that kill there on the Sand King with the stun Black Hole combo, even with that Shackle Shot coming in, Sand King did not have a chance to use that Sandstorm. And meanwhile, mid lane, Shadow Shaman has hit level 6. Is going to be trying to use those Serpent Wards to maybe push down this mid tier 1 tower, which is very low at 500 HP. A hook finds the Brood. Brood gets caught out. Wow, how does he got that hook over here? I can't believe I even caught that action, as Brood gets taken out the bottom lane. A great hook coming out from Mini, as we do see Veno and Pudge, the combo with those Sentry Wards from Veno, picking up a kill. And that is just going to be oh so important. If they can shut down this Brood, MiTH.Trust, their pushing power is going to be very limited. They need a big Brood. They need Brood to have a good early game if they are going to want to maximize their pushing capability. Meanwhile, top lane, Lakelz has picked up that Ring of Health, has 1200 gold. Could pick up that Vanguard in just sort of 150 gold, but may just want to go straight to that Radiance with that Ring of Health, although I think we are going to be seeing a Vanguard here, but definitely not not surely going to be the case. Mid lane, Shadow Shaman and Pugna actually trade lives as the Serpent Wards finish off the Pugna. Pugna did get the kill there, and Windrunner finishes off the Crystal Maiden, coming back in. Crystal Maiden getting so low from the from the Shadow Shaman wards, and that is going to be a 2-to-1 kill exchange in Infused's favor. And here we see Enigma trying to find the Sand King. There's the stun. Oh, Alchemist is going to pop off a big stun there. Takes so much damage from the Sand King and does go down. Alchemist getting the kill as well is going to be absolutely crucial for him as he gets more and more farm. Now at 1800 gold, has going for leveling up the stun over any other skills. I mean, often you'll see Alchemist max Acid Spray first, but this Alchemist trying to max out the stun first. Only has it level 3 when he's level 7. Could have maxed it by now, but obviously want to get that 1 point in Goblin's Greed to increase his farming capabilities, but is going to have quite a big amount of damage coming out from that stun. Oh, a Shackle Shot does miss Sand King, not going to be able to follow it up without that Shackle Shot hitting, and Windrunner with the DD rune doing a fair bit of damage, but mostly just using that DD rune to farm at the moment. Meanwhile, mid lane Pugna is putting some pressure on this mid tier 1 tower. Shadow Shaman is going to get involved, and he is doing so at this bottom. Is that him at the bottom lane? Yep, he is. And unfortunately, my mouse is just absolutely spazzing. I can't actually click. As there we go, Sentry Ward down. Shadow Shaman is at bottom, and going to be looking to take out this Brood. Brood knows something is up, has backed right off, knows there's Sentry Wards around. The Venomance has been Sentry Warding all game long, and Brood maybe going to just try to do some juggling. Has hit level 7, so has a level 4 spawn Spiderlings, which does a lot of damage, and can use those Spiderlings to help him jungle. Bottom lane, so with no gank possible on the Brood, they're just going to be quite happy with pushing here. They've got the Serpent Wards, they've got a Vanguard up on Pudge. This is a lot of farm on the Infused team. Donnie is going to put down those Serpent Wards, try and push, maybe going to look for a kill in the CM, but more importantly, just focus on this tower. They're not going to get enough damage, not going to get any Disable on the Crystal Maiden. If there was a Shackle or a Hex with those Serpent Wards, definitely would have been able to get a kill there. And wow, Pudge finds a hook on the Crystal Maiden! Crystal Maiden just sitting so far back, and Pudge hits the hook. And oh, Brood in trouble now. Is there a Sentry Ward? I don't think there is, unfortunately. But Brood taking so much damage will go down. Pudge gets the kill. Meanwhile, Pugna gets a top tier 1 tower. But 2 kills going in Infused's favor. They pick up the Brood. They pick up the CM. A great hook from Pudge. And the Dismember finishing off the Brood with the help of the Shadow Shaman and Venomancer. And this Infused team off to an 8-4 kill advantage. And that's going to be a bit of a gold advantage in their favor, as we do see a fairly even game. MiTH.Trust actually had a gold lead for the first sort of 10 minutes of the game, until recently with those couple kills we see Infused take a sort of a couple hundred gold lead. Well, actually this is bouncing back, this is bouncing all around the place, guys. I'm just going to close that, as that gold is bouncing all over. The game is just so early on, towers going back and forth, kills going back and forth. Obviously MiTH.Trust behind on kills, but they've got some decent farm, they've got a tower to their name, and at 1-to-1 towers this game is still fairly even. And we do see Pugna at mid trying to catch up, but if this tier 1 tower goes down to Infuse, that's going to increase their gold lead by a little bit more. Shadow Shaman going to have those Serpent Wards up soon, and could even look to go top and push down that tier 1 tower, and if they can get those 2 tier 1 towers, they're going to be in great position here to control the mid game. In the jungle, Enigma has picked up a Ring of Regen, so not going for that straight Blink Dagger, which is a bit out of the ordinary. Top lane, Sand King was struggling a bit early on because of that Enigma coming out with those ganks, has picked up a Magic Wand, Stout Shield, has Tangos and Boots, and there is a Pudge ultimate. Where is he? Here he is! I heard it playing, and he finds the Enigma, so Pudge picks up the Enigma, and Alchemist going to run into this Pudge, going to pop down the stun. Pudge in a bit of trouble here, I would say. There's the stun, but no, Alchemist comes in, so does the Sand King. Sand King with an ultimate. Alchemist going to go down here, and a huge amount of damage coming there, but Pugna finishes off the Shadow Shaman, and Windrunner in a bit of trouble as well, as the Pugna Ward sitting there in the middle is only level 2 though, so not going to do enough damage, and Sand King going to stun his way out, going to miss the stun on the Pugna, and Pugna and CM reunite, but they're not going to be able to kill anything, as the Sand King Windrunner have backed well off. Windrunner with some early Strength Treads and Magic Wand is very, very tanky. Has 1k HP this early on. That is not the kind of normal kind of build you see on a Windrunner. Often going for the Phase Boots, the Force Staff, the Mechanism. But this Windrunner just looking to tank up with those Strength Treads, which does sort of make Windrunner a bit more versatile. You can switch him to Intel if you need extra mana or extra damage at any point. So is a bit more well-rounded in terms of overall use. And now here we see Broodmother at bottom lane, runs into the Shadow Shaman, the Venom ultimate. Brood just taking so much damage, and Pudge Dismember going to be enough to finish him off, as Venomancer actually gets the kill for that one, and Pudge looking to go on the offensive, try catch out this Enigma. Enigma going straight for that mech, has Buckler and Headdress. Meanwhile, Sandking takes out the mid tower, and MiTH.Trust looking to fight this. They've got an Alchemist coming in, has maxed out that Acid Spray now, has level 3 stun, and Pudge in trouble. Black Hole finds 3. The Venomancer gets caught as well. 2 go down to the Pugna Blast, and Venomancer going to go down as well here for sure, but Windrunner comes in. Alchemist needs one more hit. There it is. The Windrunner trying to take out this Pugna, needs a power shot or something on Pugna, not going to come, and Sandking coming in. Alchemist needs to use his stun before he stuns himself, gets it off on Windrunner. Windrunner stunned for quite a while. Alchemist in that ultimate form does get quite a bit of regen, extra HP, but it's now worn off, and Sandking trying to get a kill on him, and the Windrunner as well, so low, gets taken out by a Pugna Blast, and Sandking in trouble now, doesn't have mana, gets dusted, and we are going to see a buyback from Windrunner, and Sandking will go down here. 4 kills go in MiTH.Trust's favor. They pick up 4 in a row, and that is a huge fight for them as they tie up the kill score 11-11. But here comes Shadow Shaman, Windrunner. They want revenge. The CM is so very low. Brood in the front lines is full HP though, and we are going to see Windrunner try sneak around, pick up either the Alchemist or the CM. Both heroes are just red HP, very low, but will both survive that. And Windrunner buying back and not picking up any kills. That is a great exchange for MiTH.Trust there, as we will see Alchemist picking up an early Vanguard and Phase Boot. So a very aggressive build coming out from Alchemist, using those Phase Boots to make it a bit easier to make sure he's in range for those stuns. It does give him a lot more mobility, and does have the Vanguard to help him tank up. And Alchemist level 11, so level 2 ultimate is going to be very crucial for him. And Brood in trouble, gets found by a Dismember. Brood just getting caught out. Brood, I don't want to see, but I will look 0-5-0. So L3NU. Linu is off to a terrible start this game, and has had very little impact or positive impact on the game at all yet. And meanwhile, mid lane Sandking, played by Rishon with some treads up. They're actually they're on strength now. They were on Agi for a second, but Rishon the Sandking at mid lane, and we will see this bottom tier 2 tower being put under pressure by Infused. And Infused, they're going to see this Pudge getting caught out a bit alone, but Pugna obviously not having the backup he needs to go in that. Will back off for now, and we will see the two teams regroup, look for a fight that will go in their favor. And right now, MiTH.Trust, they want to get this Alchemist more and more farmed. He's at 2k gold, needs to get that Radiance up as fast as possible, preferably around the 20-minute mark, if not earlier. And we will see, bottom lane. Venomancer has Arcane Boots, going to be going for probably a pipe with this Ring of Regen. I mean, the ideal team lineup is you get basically a couple Arcane Boots, a mech, a pipe, one hero with drums, although drums is a bit more optional. And basically you want to make your heroes as hard to kill as possible, and while doing as much damage as possible. So here you can do damage by spells alone, but items like mech and pipe makes your heroes just so tanky. Veno an ideal candidate to get that pipe. We're probably going to see a mech up on this Windrunner, although maybe not going to be the case here. We see an Urn of Shadows being bought by Shadow Shaman. He is one of those Arcane Boots, and on the Dire team, meanwhile, they've got that mech up on Enigma. They haven't got anyone going for that pipe. It looks like Drums is going to be bought on the Pugna. Alchemist going for a pipe, doesn't even save up for the Radiance, picks up a Hood of Defiance, so a very early game oriented Alchemist build, just focusing on taking up and being involved in these team fights. Does have that level 4 stun as soon as he hits level 12, so going for Acid, not even trying to max up that Goblin screen, although he does have a level 3. Venomancer gets caught out here. Alchemist going to pick him up. Sandking goes in with a stun. Epicenter going to do so much damage. Enigma and Crystal Maiden go down to the Sandking ultimate, and Pudge just in the middle there, helping clean up. Brood will survive this one. A 2-for-2 trade so far, as Pugna takes up the Sandking as well. 3-for-2 in MiTH.Trust's favor. The score now 14-14. Alchemist trying to do his best to chase more down. Not going to manage to do so. And this is going to be a tier 1 tower here, taken out by MiTH.Trust, and that's going to help them get a bit more global gold, help the coffers keep on ticking in and get more and more items up. Get that pipe up on Alchemist. I imagine we will see a pipe on him. They've got the pipe, they've got the mech. We're going to see maybe an Urn of Shadows on Crystal Maiden. We're going to have a Drums of Endurance on Pugna. That's basically maximizing auras, making them as strong as possible in team fights, making them very hard to kill. Mid lane for the Radiant team, Windrunner is there. Doesn't have too much fun on the Windrunner. We see Regen Rune, Treads. Having a little look at the CS, we see 94 CS on Pudge. That, I believe, is the highest CS in the game. Is on a Pudge, but Pudge is not really a hard carry. What does Pudge use this farm to get? Pudge has Vanguard and Hood, so Pudge is going to be very hard to kill, but he's not really a carry hero, so maybe that farm a little wasted on a Pudge. And everyone in stream who is a bit upset that the best we can do is provide this quality stream, that's because I'm an Australian, and here in Australia we don't have the best quality streams. But here's a big fight at Roshan. Hook finds the Crystal Maiden from melee range. Dismember, Shackle Shot, shackles the Brood as well. CM goes down. We're going to get rid of that so we can maximize the vision here. And Pugna Ward gets taken out early, so this is going to be hard for MiTH.Trust to fight without that Pugna Ward. But Roshan about to go down. Alchemist picks it up. Diet does get the kill for it. And this Alchemist with an Aegis here is going to be causing so much havoc. Pudge goes down to the Alchemist. Alchemist gets a killing spree. Venomancer picks up the Pugna. And Brood in so much trouble is so low. Gets taken out. And Alchemist, the lone survivor in the middle of this fight, does have the Aegis, but is up against 4 Radiant heroes. Is probably going to go down twice here. There is one. Is there going to be a second kill? I think there will be. Sanking going to stun in. There we go. And Lekels goes down for a second time. A team wipe going in Infused favor. That is a big fight, despite giving the Dire team the Aegis and Roshan kill. This Alk is going to get killed twice there. Once with the Aegis and then once again. So a much needed team fight by Infused, because I felt they were falling behind. The last few fights had all gone in MiTH.Trust's favor, with this Alchemist getting a few kills every fight, which was going to get this Alchemist more and more farmed. But a lovely team fight there, lovely combo from the Sand King, the Shadow Shaman, the Venomancer. It just really worked out well, and this Pudge is getting more and more tanky. But as said, who do Infused have to carry them in the late game? They're going to have to make sure that they get further and further ahead, as their lineup is not geared to take on MiTH.Trust in the late game. MiTH.Trust, who have a Brood, an Alchemist, 2 strong late game heroes. They've got a Black Hole, which is an ability which is great in the late game, especially if Enigma can farm a Black King bar, which he's going to need against a Shadow Shaman as well as a Sand King. And it is going to be a uphill battle to some extent for Infused, as they are going to be trying to fight without any carry heroes against a Brood and Alchemist. But Brood, who has been kept down, Brood has Treads. Looking at the CS once again, 58 CS on Brood, but 6 deaths, no kills. Enigma with 84 CS, 75 CS only on Alchemist. So Alchemist doesn't have a huge amount of CS. Isn't quite as high as the Pudge, who is just set to hit 100 CS, but Alchemist with 5 kills, 8 assists, has a decent amount of farm, especially getting the added farm from Goblin's Greed. So we will see Venomancer picking up a Vitality booster. Going to just go for a Hood after that Vitality booster, not actually turn the Vitality booster into Vanguard. It's a common kind of build on a Venomancer. The problem with going straight pipe is that you don't get any plus HP, and Venomancer is quite a low HP hero, so just getting Vitality booster on its own adds 250 HP. And it basically means that you're a lot harder to kill, because not all damage is going to be spell damage. So Hood or Pipe alone is not going to be enough if you're up against physical damage as well, which is the Brood, the Alchemist, and those Enigma Eidolons. So it is nice to get that Vitality booster. We see Windrunner going for an Ultimate Orb, so not going to be going for anything like a mech, just looking to do as much do as much late game impact as possible. A Scythe of Vice going to be the item of choice for Windrunner, and that is a very late game oriented build. Sand King going for a Vanguard and Tread, so no Blink Dagger on the Sand King as of yet. It's probably going to be his next item of choice, but that's going to be a very late Blink Dagger. And there's a lot of farms we had at bottom lane, as this Brood has pushed out this lane very far. There's a lot of Spider Lanes, but he is going to send those off to that jungle. Brood with just Treads, 1k gold. I can only imagine Brood wants to farm that BKB. We're going to see an Ogre Axe up in it shortly, but that BKB is going to be very late. Meanwhile, Infused with 4 heroes top, no Sand King. I don't think they really want to fight this. Especially against the tankiness of this MiTH.Trust team. We see Pugna going for a Vitality booster, Enigma with the mech. Enigma only 300 gold away from that Blink Dagger, and Alchemist getting closer and closer to that Relic, or possibly just that Pipe. He does have the Hood. Whether or not he's going to turn it into a Pipe is yet to be seen. Against a Venomancer and SK Ultimate, I think he's going to want a Pipe, but whether or not he gets the Pipe before or after the Radiance is kind of debatable. I definitely think he needs a Radiance. I would have expected him to go the Radiance before even getting the Hood, because the Vanguard gives enough tankiness on its own, but he obviously wanted more tankiness, so he did pick up that Hood. And he is going to have to be very careful here, because Shadow Shaman and Pudge are on the hunt. Shadow Shaman with 4 earn charges, has a Bracer Arcane Boots, going to allow them to spam up as much as possible. Sand King at bottom, Vanguard Treads up against the Brood with just Treads, 1500 gold. And The Crystal Maiden, just with bracer, boots, some dust, and a magic wand, going to pick up some sentry wards, use that to help scout out of that Sanking if he does try hide in Sandstorm. And Enigma, there we go, Blink Dagger on Enigma, going to be picked up very, very shortly, and that's going to be Enigma looking for some big blink black holes. And if he can find those, that is going to be absolutely huge and could be a turning point for MiTH.Trust, this big Blink Dagger, if they can set up some great team fights with it. So it looks like Infused are wanting to gather up near mid. They've got two heroes there at the moment. The Shadow Shaman's kind of close by. The Sand King is in the bottom jungle, can easily group up with them on short notice. And whether or not they are looking to push here, they've got the Pudge positioned for a hook, so they've got 3 heroes there. They've got the 4th nearby in the top jungle, a 5th nearby in the bottom jungle, so they are nearing mid. But I don't think they can push into a Pugna, especially with that Plague Ward going to be sitting up. So they're going to be looking for a pick-off, which is what the Pudge is for. He's going to be looking for those big hooks. They've got this Obs Ward to give them some vision of the lane. And if he can hit a hook, especially if he can hit a hook on this Pugna, it's going to be really bad news for MiTH.Trust. But we're just going to see the Serpent Ward's planted down, and they're just going to chip away at this tower. They probably should be able to get this now, but even if they don't, they're going to get some serious damage done to it. The Glyph gets popped, and MiTH.Trust are not going to be here in time. They haven't got the Alchemist, they haven't got the Enigma there yet, and this tower should be able to go down without much of a fight. No, it's not going to go down. It's just going to get very, very low, cut down to 350 HP, thanks to the Serpent Wards, the Plague Wards, but the tower pretty much takes out those Serpent Wards. And Infused going to have to back off now. They don't have that Rasta Shadow Shaman ultimate for a while now. So MiTH.Trust right now in a decent position here. They still need to get some more farm up on this Alchemist. Without a Radiance, he doesn't have the sort of big enough teamfight impact. Looking at the gold difference, MiTH.Trust up 1500 gold, but at 24 minutes, that's not a big lead. This game is still very much in the balance. The next few teamfights are going to be so crucial for both these teams, and it looks like MiTH.Trust want to take this T1 tower. Pudge with Invis, going to be looking for a hook. Can he find it? Yes, he does. It's the Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden going to go down to the Pudge. A big stun comes out on the Kelzy Alchemist. Alchemist in so much trouble. He's going to stun himself, and Pudge gets a double kill. The Enigma blinks him with a black hole, but Windrunner picks him off, and 3 kills go in Infused favor. The Enigma takes out 1, the Shadow Shaman. That's with the Midnight Pulse, but right now Infused looking to continue chasing. They find the Pugna. Big shackle shot coming out from Wagamama, and 4 heroes go down. The only surviving member is the Brood of L3NU, who isn't even in the fight, is sitting at bottom lane, pushing and farming away, but not really having much of an impact on this game still, as Brood 0 and 6 with just 3 assists is really not having the best game of his life, let's just say. And this is going to be an uphill battle from here on out for MiTH.Trust. Losing that team fight is going to be very, very big for Infused. It's going to give them a lot of gold, give them a tier 2 tower at mid, and they are just going to get a lot of momentum as a result of it. But they've still got to worry, because going to this late game, they still don't have the late game heroes to fight a Brood and Alchemist. But if they can keep this Alchemist from getting that Radiance up, I mean, it's now 25 minutes and Alchemist only at 2.2k gold. This is not a very farmed Alchemist. I mean, at 15 minutes in, he was farmed. He had a lot of farm at 15 minutes, but the last 5-10 minutes, he hasn't really farmed much. He hasn't really had much of an impact on the game either. And that is what Infused want to be seeing now. And they may force him into buying a pipe, and they maybe not even going to save up for that Radiance anymore, as he's just not doing as well as he would like, based on that strong early game that he had. And Shadow Shaman with 1100 gold could go for that Drums of Endurance I was talking about earlier. We do see Pudge picking up a Plate Mail, probably going for a Shiver's Guard. I don't think they're going to win an Assault Cruise. They haven't got much physical damage on their team. It is sort of more magical damage based and sort of burst damage from nukes and spells. So it's probably a Shiver's Guard to give them some added slows, prevent the Alchemist and Brood from doing too much damage in these team fights, as the Shiver's Guard does slow them down. And we will see Enigma and Pugna venturing off. We see Pugna actually going for a Vanguard, so Pugna going for a pure tanky build. Probably would have liked to see something like a BKB instead. I definitely think this Radiant team, to beat it, you need BKBs. BKB great against the Windrunner Shackle Shot, great against the Sand King Stun and Ultimate, great against the Shadow Shaman Disables. BKB is just so good against this Radiant team. We need BKB on the Brood, which BKB actually, he has enough gold for that BKB in just 50 gold, I believe. So we need a BKB on Brood, we need a BKB on Enigma, we need a BKB on Pugna, I feel. The Alchemist can do without it because Alchemist just gets huge amounts of HP from that ultimate, but they definitely need BKB on those 3 heroes, I feel. And if they had gone for those items a lot earlier, they would be in a better position here. And at the moment, bottom lane, there's a Dust, finds the Sand King going to go down. The 4-man gank is on MiTH.Trust, pick up a kill, and if they can get the tier 2 tower as well, this is going to be a very, very nice find for them, a great gank. And if they can, it looks like they will get the tier 2 tower. Alchemist is coming in. Alchemist now with 2.8k gold, getting closer and closer to that relic, and they're going to keep on pushing. Meanwhile, Infused are all top, pushing away, will get a tier 1 tower of their own. Shadow Shaman level 12 does have the level 2 ultimate, and their Infused team are going to have to defend this tier 1 tower, but they have not got their Sand King. Sand King with the Blink Dagger doesn't have gold for buyback and not going to be able to come to defend this. And if MiTH.Trust can do some serious damage to this tier 3 tower, especially if they can take it, that's going to be absolutely huge. And we are going to see Shadow Shaman forced to use those Serpent Wards to slow down this push, and the Serpent Wards should be enough to stop it. Although, it will at least buy time for the Sand King to respawn. And it looks like MiTH.Trust are pinging Roshan. They may want to go Roshan, but it looks like they will just back off. And, yep, so Infused have stopped the push using those Serpent Wards, but that's going to buy MiTH.Trust a lot of time. The Serpent Wards are now on cooldown for a couple minutes. Infused have been forced onto the back foot, and if they're on the back foot, it means Alchemist has a lot of space to farm, get up that Radiance, give time for the Enigma to get the BKB, as well as Brood. There's Brood with BKB. Going to give time for Brood to get his next item up. So Brood, despite not having any impact on the game yet, has now finished BKB. Will be getting some kind of damage item up fairly soon, whether it's an MKB or a Butterfly, even maybe an Orchid, the Silent Stick, which is going to allow him to have a much bigger impact on the game. So, despite having done nothing yet so far, the fact he now has a BKB is going to basically mean he can suddenly come to these team fights, use the BKB, and not get instantly taken out, although the Pudge Dismember does go through that, so is still going to have to be a bit careful. But Pudge, I mean, is getting less and less tanky as the game goes on. Sure, he's got 2.4k HP with Plate Mail and Hood and Vanguard, so a lot of damage block, magic resistance, and plus armor, but he can be taken down. He's not actually that scary. He doesn't do a huge amount of damage, and this game, as it goes on, MiTH.Trust is going to be quite happy in the fact that they have the better late game. And there we are going to see MiTH Lakels with enough gold for that relic. Finally, at 30 minutes into the game, is going to be probably buying that relic, Sacred Relic, and trying to pick up that Radiance as fast as possible. But Radiance not going to be out for another couple of minutes. And there we have it, the relic not being bought yet. Where is that relic? There's the Sacred Relic. But I feel like it's such a late Radiance that it's not going to have as big an impact on the game. It's not going to actually, if you get Radiance in like 20 minutes, you can just farm so fast using the Radiance. Because Radiance is great for 2 reasons. 1, you farm so fast with the Radiance, and 2, it does nice sort of AoE damage in team fights. But basically, he's got the Radiance so late, it's not going to get much farm advantage from it. He's only going to get sort of the team fight global, sort of the AoE damage from it. But 32, 33 minutes in the game, that's not going to really be a huge amount of damage coming from a Radiance. So it is going to be very, very late. But as far as what do you get as an Alchemist, you're not really a agi carry hero, so there's not a huge amount of options available to you. The Radiance is sort of probably the top option, and Heart as well going to be another option, as we do see Crystal Maiden get picked off at mid. That's not too bad for MiTH.Trust. Obviously they're going to be upset that their CM just got picked off. Sorry guys, apparently I'm blocking the hero level as a result of earlier. There we go, you can now see the hero levels. We see Pudge hitting level 16, Windrunner level 15, and I do apologize guys for that. That was as a result of the earlier, I was blocking something else with my webcam when I was in the lobby, but now we are into this game. It looks like this tier 3 tower going to take a fair bit of damage from those Serpent Wards and Plague Wards, but not going to get taken out, and MiTH.Trust are on the chase here. They know this Sand King is bottom. Well, they should know. They've seen Sand King bottom, and they're saying, hey, let's try catch one. But Infused, catching on, have backed right off, and now Roshan is going to be the next big engagement, I feel, unless Infused can find a pick off earlier. And they may just do that with this smoke here. They are waiting on the high ground. Is it going to be Pugna? Possibly the Enigma. Enigma going for that BKB, but still is a long way off. It only has a Mithril Hammer, and going to walk right into Pudge. Oh, Enigma in so much trouble. Gets Hex, dismembered. Enigma goes down to a power shot. Wagamama picks up the kill. Lakel's going to back the hell away, as well as the Pugna. And there comes the Sand King looking for blood. He's maybe going to chase down the Pugna. Does find a stun on him, and some Spiderlings come in. Finds the SK, but Pugna is going to TP immediately out as they stun. The Burrow Strike is still on cooldown, but that's going to give Infused an opportunity to take down Roshan here. And whether or not MiTH.Trust can stop this, I doubt they can. I don't know what they can do to actually stop this. And we are going to see... oh, they are going to stop Roshan. They're going to find Lakelz with the Plague Ward. The 5-man gank on him. Lakelz goes down, and he does not have gold for that buyback at 974. Buyback is... what is buyback? Current buyback... oh no, he has enough gold for it. Buyback is 977. He is 985. So he just has enough for buyback, but he obviously wants to buy that Radiance, and they're just going to give up Roshan here. Infused going to pick up this Roshan. They've got a Scythe of Vyth on Windrunner. Venomancer with Vanguard and Cloak. Not going for that pipe yet. And we see Mech on Shadow Shaman. Sanking with the 2.2k gold. Vanguard, Treads, and Blink. Going to be interesting to see what he picks up. Maybe going to go for that Ag Scepter. Maybe go for another Scythe of Vice. And Pudge with the Plate Mallet now has 3.4k gold. Could pick up that Shiver's Guard if he so wants to. On the Dire team. Enigma getting not that much closer to that BKB with that recent death. And that's going to be a worry because they need those BKBs up. They've only got the one on the Broodmother. We're going to see Pugna pick up a Hood and Vanguard. And the tier 3 tower at mid goes down, but I don't think they're going to be able to take Rax. They back off. They know that Alchemist is coming back into play. So Brute is one going in. Pudge has the Dismember, but not going to be able to get it off against the Frostbite. The stun coming out from Enigma if he uses that Dismember. And Pudge is going to back off. He's taking so little damage. He's just so tanky. There's the Enigma stun. Dismember goes, but the Midnight Pulse as well in there. And Pudge with the hook finishes off Enigma. And Brood pops the BKB. Going to turn around, go for the Pudge. But the ultimate of Brood on cooldown, so he's not actually doing much damage. And Brood taking a lot of damage himself. And Alchemist now in the middle with a Relic, but no Radiance. Not doing as much damage as he was like. And MiTH.Trust in so much trouble here. Hook finds the Pugna. Mini picks up a kill. And, well, Fishbone picks up a kill on the back of Mini's great hook. And if he can find another hook, that's going to be absolutely huge. Especially if he can find this Alchemist. If Alchemist goes down, this could be just about GG. At least GG to these Rax. These Raxes are going to be going down here as Infused look to take down this mid Rax. And I think they will be able to take this out. And there's not going to be much defense coming from MiTH.Trust. No Radiance on Alchemist at 35 minutes in the game is just not going to be enough for them to fight this Infused team. What's been a very close game is finally sort of slipping into Infused hands and slipping away from MiTH.Trust as we do see a mid-Rax being taken. They get the melee Rax, the range Rax still up and running. But the melee Rax is the important one. That's the one that matters. And Infused is going to be more than happy with that. They've got 4.4k gold on Pudge. Venomancer with 3k gold has Obs Wards as well. So it's pretty much a support Venomancer with 3k gold. Vanguard and Arcane Boots. Heap of Obs Wards. We see Sanking with 1k gold has an ultimate orb. Going to be going for a second Scythe of Vyth. Windrunner with the first one also has a Vitality booster. What is Windrunner going for? Possibly a Heart of Tarask. A most unusual Windrunner build. And the Pudge. What has he bought? Where are you at, Pudge? Is that a Shiver's Guard? Yes, it is. Shiver's Guard on Pudge as well as 2k gold. That is a very, very farm Pudge. And Shadow Shaman, the last hero, has 4 staff and mech as well as the urn and Arcane Boots. So a lot of gold on Infused. And we're going to see a bit of a gold lead for them. Yes, we do. It's about 6 to 7k gold in Infused favor, and you can tell by the items they are definitely doing very, very well. What have MiTH.Trust got? They've got Blink, Mech, Mithril Hammer on Enigma, trying to farm out that BKB. How close is he? He's got no, he hasn't got any items in his stash, so he still needs a lot to go, unless one of these is his. Doesn't look like it, so still needs the Ogre Axe and BKB recipe, and only has 600 gold. Brood with BKB and Yasha has 2k gold. Pugna with Vanguard and Hood, as well as a Bottle, Arcane Boots and Bracer. CM with Bracer and Boots, and Alchemist with Radiance. Finally, 36 minutes of the game, we have an Alchemist Radiance, guys. But unfortunately, I think it could be too late, too little. And MiTH.Trust, I feel at times in this game, they were slightly ahead. They definitely were in a position. The score got tied up at like around 14 kills to 14, and MiTH.Trust, their Alchemist, had about 2.5k gold at sort of 16, 17 minutes. Then that Radiance, the Relic, the Radiance just took so long. The next 10 minutes of the game, Alchemist did absolutely nothing. But at 17 to 18 minutes in, MiTH.Trust were in a great position, but then the next 10 minutes just did not go to their liking, and Alchemist just got really, really far behind. So, Alchemist, bottom lane, is going to be trying to use that Radiance, use that Acid Cloud to farm up as much as possible. It does get the bonus gold from Goblin's Green. You can see all these plus 18s. That's just extra gold. So he gets the creep gold, then he gets an added 18 gold. But Infused, they don't care. They say, well, whatever your Alchemist has, we're just going to push anyways. They are now 5-man pushing at top. They've got a gem up on the Pudge. Going to be very useful against that Broodmother. Not allow him to just sit in webs and attack, come in and out of attacking. And they will push away at this top tier 3 tower. Maybe going to see some Serpent Wands being dropped. Not going to be dropped yet because they don't have the creep support that they would like. They need those creeps to tank the tower. Windrunner going to use that Windrun. Does get decrept, not taking too much damage. Pudge can miss the hook, but that doesn't matter. The thing is, Infused can just sit here waiting for a Pudge hook to hit. I mean, if you throw enough Pudge hooks, one is going to hit. And I think give it time. Pudge is going to hit one of these hooks, and as soon as he hits a hook, picks one of these MiTH.Trust heroes off. We're suddenly in a 4v5 situation, and or maybe not so much a 4v5 situation, but MiTH.Trust are forced to go in to support whoever gets hooked, or they're going to have to let that whoever gets hooked die, which is obviously not a situation they want to do. And they obviously don't want to. They don't want to fight outside of their base, but if someone gets hooked, they almost have to. So Infused is just going to sit here for the next 5-10 minutes if they have to, looking for that hook. And this time, then maybe knocking away. There's the hook. It finds the Enigma. Dust immediately gets popped. Enigma gets dismembered. And Enigma gonna go down to the Pudge. Does Enigma have buyback? No, he does not. And without that black hole, there's just nothing they can do. SK with the Epicenter Blink. Ultimate. Brood goes down despite popping the BKB. 4 heroes down. The only surviving one is the Alchemist, who is going to be using that stun on the Pudge and trying to back off. He will survive by the looks of it. That Chemical Rage is giving him so much HP. But meanwhile, top Rex goes down. We're going to see maybe this mid-range Rex go down as well, because with 4 heroes dead, Alchemist, nothing he can do to defend, and this could be GG here as Infused. It looks like on the back of Mini's Pudge has managed to defeat the TIE powerhouse that is MiTH.Trust, and top Rax both gone. Mid Rax is going to be finished off. The range Rax goes down, now a 4 Rax advantage in favor of Infused. They're going to go on, push down these tier 4 towers, and still MiTH.Trust with 4 heroes dead. The CM Enigma 5 seconds before they're up. Enigma has Black Hole, but he needs some DPS support. He needs the Pugner alive. He also needs that Brood alive. The Pugner, the Brood, the Alchemist, those are the 3 core heroes. Having a CM alive isn't going to do much, and without those heroes alive, there's just not much I can see this Alchemist doing. But Alchemist is going to be running in. The Enigma comes in with a stun, but this is not going to go in MiTH.Trust's favor, I feel. Even with the entire Radiant team with their ultimates on cooldown. No SK ulti, no Venom ulti, no Shadow Shaman ultimate. But I don't think it's going to matter as we see Alchemist get dismembered by the Pudge. Shivers Guard to slow him. The hook, the Shadow Shaman finishes him off, and Alchemist immediately buying back. Sand King going to go down though as Brood. Enigma with the stun, stunning him 3 times, preventing him from using that Sandstorm, will take him out. And meanwhile, Venomancer just hitting away the Throne. Throne is on red HP. Black Hole. Broodmother taking out the Shadow Shaman. Yes, they can. Shadow Shaman had the ultimate back but didn't have the mana. Pudge, meanwhile, picks up a kill. Shadow Shaman buys back. Donnie is going to be looking to come back mid with those Serpent Wards. Finish off the Throne. The Throne will go down here. Windrunner finishes it off. And GG is called by MiTH.Trust. Infused have defeated MiTH.Trust here in the defense. And there we go. Whew, tonight's first game, guys. MiTH.Trust falling to the Swedish team of Infused, formerly known as EMC Emo Core, led by Wagamama, with Mini, Donny, Rishan, and Fishbone. Congratulations to you guys. Taking out a very formidable team of MiTH.Trust is definitely something to be proud of. And thank you guys for tuning in, as we did have a somewhat unorthodox coverage of the defense tonight, as there was no Toby. What happened tonight? There was no Toby. I'm GoDz, and unfortunately Toby is on holidays, so you were stuck with me tonight casting the defense. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and thanks everyone for watching. We're going to be coming your way soon with more live action. Until then, stay tuned.